Alright, what's going on, guys? Beastars Chapter 180, otherwise known as the Beastars Super Nintendo Standoff. Let's get right into it. So the battle rages on between Legosi and the female fox from the Inaragumi. It looks like Legoshi's having a hard time in his heels, and he even has a moment where the Inaragumi can slightly see up his dress. Maybe get a peek of that wolf schlong. But, you know, the way he's dressing, maybe he's not packing any sort of sausage. Maybe he's got a taco. Who knows? Now, it's kind of interesting because Legoshi's sort of having a reflective moment here. He's like, wow, I didn't realize girls had such a hard time wearing these types of clothing and, you know, displaying modesty and, you know, just carrying themselves throughout the world. A nice little bit of internal reflection and some insights on some of the stereotypes that exist within our culture. And then the battle continues to rage on. It looks like the Inaragumi fox is giving Legoshi some lessons in terms of mascara. But right then and there, it looks like it's starting to rain. And the Inaragumi leader is like, that's interesting, I didn't see any clouds in the forecast today. And then she proceeds to tell Legoshi about the sun shower, otherwise known as a fox's wedding. Now this is a very interesting facet of the manga. I don't feel like it's explained very well, but I did look it up. I wanted to kind of see what this whole little story is about. Fox weddings are indeed folklore in Japan and even in European societies. So basically, as the legend goes, is that when there's no clouds in the sky and it's, you know, a bright summer day, and then all of a sudden it starts raining, you know, people have to go inside their houses because they don't want to get wet. And as the legend goes, because everyone's in their houses, this gives an opportunity for the foxes to have their wedding ceremony. There's also this event known as the Foxfire Lantern Procession, which is kind of interesting because, you know, in the Black Market Alley, they all have their lanterns, and because of the rain, they go out. But according to the fox wedding folklore, they would have this little procession where, you know, you would see this sort of dancing light in the mist. And if you ever got too close to it, it would go away. Now, modern day scientists think that this was due to an optical illusion due to the setting sun. You know, kind of similar to the way you see a rainbow. You know, you try to chase the rainbow, but, you know, when you think you're gonna get there, you know, it seems like it's far away or you can't see it. So that's kind of the same idea here, although from the website I was reading, I guess scientific evidence doesn't really support this, but it's kind of what they're thinking. The whole idea of the fox wedding is surrounded in a lot of mystery. You know, I checked out a lot of websites, and it was kind of hard to pin down like an exact definition of what it was. You know, like every culture kind of has a different idea of what it is, and even within those cultures you have different regions, and they celebrate it in different ways. So very fascinating stuff. I even read something that, like, the white foxes are desirable, and that if it's not a white fox, it brings bad luck because foxes that are not white are very sly and devious. So, you know, maybe Haru's trying to highlight the fact that the foxes in the Inaragumi are not white, and we got this sun shower going on, and, you know, they're very sly and mischievous, and they're trying to take down Legoshi by any means necessary. Now, the whole wedding part, maybe that's sort of a signal that Legoshi and Haru are gonna get married soon. Like maybe after the battle at the Black Market Alley, Legoshi decides to propose marriage once again, and this time Haru says yes. So maybe this is a bit of foreshadowing? Hard to say really, but I feel like in the manga chapter, it wasn't explained as well as it could have. It was a little bit confusing, to be honest with you. Maybe that was due to the bad translations. Sometimes these translations are a bit rough and the grammar doesn't always seem right, so sometimes when you read it, you're like, what are they really saying here? I'm not really sure. But anyway, we find out from the Inaragumi boss that they don't want to be these dark, mischievous creatures anymore. They want to be respected. And just as Legoshi's sort of empathizing with the Inaragumi, saying, you know, we got our own stereotypes, i.e. the wolves, that we sort of have to endure. And, you know, we're just all trying our best to make the best out of a bad situation. So, you know, a nice little moment. This is kind of a similar theme in the Black Market Alley. All of these gang members come in with evil intentions and are very aggressive and want to fight. But Legoshi's pacifism is sort of reducing everyone down to a placid state in which they're kind of almost calling a truce, if you will. It's really changing the dynamic in the Black Market Alley, and maybe this is a step forward, and this will sort of ameliorate some of the problems that have been going on. So, just as everything looks like it's going well, we see a hand lurking behind the Inaragumi boss. But right then, Legoshi comes flying in with a flying knee, just like Jorge Masvidal on Ben Askren in the UFC. And wow, what a great manga panel, guys. I mean, goddamn, that is just absolutely beautifully drawn. Goddamn, never before have I seen a male wearing a dress look so badass. But there you go. There's a first time for everything. And right as the chapter ends, it looks like we're getting ready for a little strip show. But not the kind of strip show that the males want to see. I mean, unless that's your bag. But, I mean, but anyway, it looks like Legoshi's gonna get butt-ass naked here. He's gonna fight Melon, which brings up something very important. I gotta give a couple shout-outs. First, Kemo Notaku, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he had a post in the last manga chapter in which he predicted that Legoshi and Melon would would fight each other Greek style, in which they were butt naked, and and it looks like that's exactly what we're gonna have. So wow, I mean, if that does come to fruition in the next chapter, what a prediction. And then I also want to give a shout out to Gary's Boy Gamer 260. He gave me the idea for the Beastars How Will It End video. So shout out to both of those guys. Thanks for contributing to the channel. And yeah, that's how the chapter ends, guys. So, I mean, it looks like Melon took care of the Madaragumi already. I mean, they didn't show any of the panels or anything, but I guess that's the conclusion we have to draw at this point if he's already attacking the Inaragumi. And it looks like the battle with Legoshi and the Inaragumi is probably over at this point as well, so they really accelerated events to the final battle. I mean, at first it looked like Legoshi was gonna fight every single mafia group on his way to Melon. Then Melon's gonna take on the Madaragumi, but they don't even show that, so it's like, okay, I mean, you kind of teased us with this tournament, and now you're just kind of like throwing it by the wayside and like, okay, let's just get to that final battle already. It is what it is. I mean, I'm still enjoying it. There's still a lot of laughs, but man, you know, it kind of keeps you on your toes in a way. So we'll have to see what will happen after this. I wonder how many chapters it will take for the battle with Legoshi and Melon. If I had to guess, man, how many was it with Riz and Legoshi? I want to say like 7 or 8 chapters. So, I mean, this has got to be a little more epic, I would think. So maybe like 10 chapters? And then maybe another 10 to wrap things up with Haru and with Juno and Lewis. So maybe we get to 200 chapters and we kind of just tie things off there. Or, you know, maybe we end this arc on like chapter 190 and then we got like another 30 or 40 chapter arc to go. It's kind of hard to tell at this point. But anyway, I think I'll leave it there for now. And thanks for listening, and I'll catch you on the flip side.